Aha, here we are. Share that to Brian's. Share it to the ChillerNight group. That's it. All right, how are we doing on time? 7:59. We're doing pretty good. Kevin says, "Hello, Brian. Good to see you." Hey, Kevin. Thanks for joining us. Bonehead says, "Hello. Hey, Bonehead. Thanks for joining us." All right. If I have the right opening on the queue, I think I do. Well, we'll find out here in a. Find out right now. It's 8 o'clock. Time to begin. Hey everybody, this is Brian Hogue. Welcome to the ChillerNight Live pre-show. We're from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until a few minutes shy of 9 p.m. I sit here and I chat with you folks, and I just noticed that. Oh, okay, all right, everything's fine. I momentarily lost track of what I was doing here, but we'll talk about all things horror, science fiction, paranormal, anything, whatever fits into that chiller category. We will discuss that, and probably other things as well, whatever you throw my way or at each other. So Sheila says, "Hey Brian." Hey Sheila, thanks for joining us. And Ava Hoagie, my baby, gives me a heart. Right back at you, baby doll. Thank you. Bonet says, "Thank you, Brian, for doing this pre-show and giving us a place to interact with each other every week." I hope. Oh, well, you're welcome, and thank you. Thank you for joining us. Glam says, "Howdy, y'all." Brian Bonehead. Hey, Glam, thanks for joining us. Kevin says, "Tara Vincent is hosted the silent horror, The Phantom of the Opera." Good movie. Good movie. Can't go wrong. Glam says, "Hey, Kevin." John says, "Oh, thank the Dark Ones for another show." And it's Saturday night, and it's time for a ChillerNight pre-show. This is Crozak the Grand, hoping that no one got Charlie Brown on Halloween. And now here's Brian Hogue. Oh, thank you, Crozak the Grand. Oh, yeah, so for another show, yeah, I will be doing the pre-show for a while longer. Like, of course, we, I guess the elephant in the room is the last Jack Shadow ChillerNight Theater episode. The last ChillerNight Theater episode was last Saturday. So, but there's lots of episodes of ChillerNight Theater, and we'll be. I know Stream TV will run them as long as I'm sending the schedules. So, I'm not in a big hurry to stop the pre-show by any means. I couldn't keep up with the ChillerNight Theaters. That's another whole other thing. Bonus says, "Miss Glam Fangs, it's so good." Got a phone call. I don't know who that was. It's so good to hear from you. I thought if Brian wasn't going to do this anymore, I didn't know how to keep in touch with you and Tom Paisley. Kevin says, "What is Jack Shadow going to do now?" Jack Shadow is going to be, well, he'll be more of the figurehead, the logo, the poster boy, I guess. I don't know about logo, but for me continuing with my haunted attractions, that's kind of where I see Jack Shadow. So he'll be. I mean, he's not going away. He's just kind of moving. He's still in the castle. He's still there. But I kind of wanted him to just return to haunting, and that's his place. That'll be his place. I can't say that I'd never do the show again. It's not that. It's just I was running out of time. I mean, and in 2022, I mean, there was only twice that Jack hosted the show the entire year. Once in April, remember the live April 1st show that we did, and then for the Halloween one just last week. So um, the rest were me. So, um, yeah, Sheila says it was said I'll just watch the old episodes, and now you mentioned the plan. There you go. See, that's not so bad, is it? No, I guess if the conditions were right, I would bring it back. But here's what I didn't want to have happen. I didn't want to just keep kind of henpecking my my way through, providing episodes, because I just didn't like that. I didn't. Here's why: because I've got so much I'm trying to accomplish. I didn't want it looming over my head like, you're getting all this done, you're getting all this done, but you still have another episode to do. I just I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to do that, because after and I go in for my surgery on Tuesday, and then I'm going to have a few on my shoulder. Yeah, nothing serious, but I mean it is something that's going to immobilize me from, or prevent me from being able to build it, and for a few months. So let's see here. Hold on, folks. Let me make sure that. Let me see what this is. It's an appointment for. Oh, for tomorrow. The escape room for tomorrow. Okay. I blocked it for when I came home tonight. I blocked it, so it's like, I don't want to get called back out, So I blocked it for the rest of tonight. So I was hoping that that wouldn't happen. Okay, there we go. That's for tomorrow. That's for tomorrow. Okay. All right, I can make that happen. Glam says, with all this technology, I don't understand. I'm sure we'd figure something out, Bonehead, but so glad Brian makes it easy and fun. Oh, for keeping in touch, yeah. Bonehead says, Brian, we're all behind you, and I'm hoping you'll keep doing the pre-shows. Hey, I'm hoping you like interacting with us, and that you'll have enough time to do these Saturday night get-together. Yes, I very much enjoy this. That's why, I mean, I've always tried to keep up with doing the pre-shows, and I've done that pretty much pretty well, except for once the escape room started. Then my Saturdays, well, just like you saw right there, if I hadn't going on here just like probably 10, 15 minutes prior to me doing the pre-show, it just struck me like, oh, I got to go in there and block that time, because I could be in the middle of doing this and I get an appointment for like 9 o'clock. So that's the type of thing that comes up for the pre-show. And now, if that does come up, it's like, well, in starting out a business, I want to be available to do the business. So I go, and so, but I came back home today after being out there today. It's just a slow day. So October was really, really super busy. I very much enjoyed that. I don't know. I think people are still like wondering if this is a year-round thing. I've had a lot of people ask me that, and so I'm trying to let people know, no, I'm in there for good. This is my store. I'm year-round. So, but it might take a few weeks for people to catch on that this is actually wasn't just a Halloween thing. Sheila says, Jack Shadow probably will pop in now and then for special occasions. Right now, like I was saying last time I was on here, that I can see Jack doing like a Halloween episode or a reunion show or something like that, because like there's part of me that didn't want to like inundate my last episode with scenes from other, from the past shows. However, I'm saying that I kind of would like to have some kind of reunion show where I am throwing stuff like that uh, in the program. So, but I just didn't. I mean, quite honestly, I just didn't have time to do that. And I hate to sound like a broken record. Didn't have time. Didn't have time. But I really didn't. You gotta believe me. I didn't have time, and that's why I just felt like, boy, I gotta end this. But I want to end it right. I want to end it properly, and I didn't want to end it with Brian because, like I said, I made mention that that's not Chiller Night Theater. Chiller Night Theater was Jack Shadow, and and the times that he had his fellow ghosts and ghouls on the show, or the witch, Elvon Knock, and the other characters, Walter and so forth. But the show was Jack Shadow, and it started out with Jack. I wanted it to end with Jack. I didn't want to stand there and do it. I didn't think that's not how I wanted it. I wanted the show to to begin on a certain standard and end on a certain standard. And speaking of beginning and end, let me put up the schedule here. I want to show you something here. Getting another phone call. I wonder. Well, they're going to have to leave maybe they can leave a message and I'll call them back. Let me see. Is this tonight's? Nope, that's last week's. Let me remove that. Are you sure I want to remove it? Yes, I am. I'm going to put up. Let me put up tonight's schedule. Let me find tonight's schedule. Your screen might be black right now. Do not panic. That is normal. Talk amongst yourselves. No, I'll have this up here in just a few seconds here. Let me put up tonight's schedule. Schedule. Where's my schedule folder? Here we go. And tonight's the 5th. Here we go. Ah, that wasn't so bad, was it? All right, tonight at 9 o'clock, Horror Express. Now, that was not the first Chiller Night Theater. However, it was the first Chiller Night Theater that I did with Stream TV. So that's kind of neat. Horror Express at 9 o'clock, The Ghost at 10:40. 12:30 in the morning, Silent Night, Bloody Night, and then at 2:20 in the morning, The Undying Monster. So if you want Jack Shadow, there's 3 right there that the first 3 were hosted by Jack Shadow. And then the 4th one, that's me. All right, so there's the schedule tonight. And you can find that if you're new on here and you don't know where to find that, you can go to streammedia.tv at 9 o'clock and you can check out the programming. Let's see. Bonus says, speaking of Tom Paisley, Tom, you out there? You out there, Tom? Glam says, best wishes for you and your surgery and your continued growth for your business. So thank you, Glam. I appreciate that. Bonus says, well, Brian, now that you're not doing the Chiller shows, are you looking forward to having a little free time to spend with your family? Or what's your plans? Well, I always enjoy that when I can, but let's see. I'm sorry. This is about speaking of time. Are you gonna have more time? I actually am not gonna have a lot of free time because of I've got the business going. Now I've got a schedule. I've actually got a schedule that I put together today when I was sitting at the store. I was at the store earlier, and I put together a schedule that now throughout the holidays from I'll take a few months to recover. I don't want to be building and constructing anything until after the holidays. I figure January, February, March, I'll be able to put together the next escape room. And then beginning in April until the end of September, I'll be working very hard on getting that haunted house put up. Now, that might sound like so far away because we just got over Halloween, this week. But to me, I sit and wonder. To me, I feel hurried. I feel like a sense of urgency. So, let's see. Number 6. I can do one and not do another. Okay. I'm sorry, folks. Let me just say. They need a response here. I'm not even going to respond. Never mind. Disregard. Disregard. We'll get that with a phone call. But yeah, I will. Yeah, my time is going to still be crazy, and that's why I had to end this here, because I knew I wasn't going to have extra time, And if I don't, if if I'm making money from business for because I'm doing a business, I thought the more I do Jack Shadow, first of all, like again, I mentioned this last week or was it earlier this week? I think it was. I'm losing my sense of time. I think it was last week, last Friday. I did a pre-show, and again, I was doing a pre-show, and in the middle of that, I got called. I had to leave. I had to leave because I had a booking that came up. So my thought is, if I'm doing Jack Shadow, honestly, I gotta be compensated for doing that character. It's not just something that I'm taking smudges of dark paint, putting on a hat, and there I am. There's and I think that I believe people recognize that. Like if that character is totally not this, like there's a there's this. I think there's a skill there in doing that character. I like to toot my own horn, but toot toot, No, I believe that it's something that I don't know. There's an entertainment factor there that evidently people appreciate. So, but if I'm doing that character, if I'm putting that time into it, I'm taking away from the business that I'm trying to build. So. I would want to be compensated. I've doing it for 14 years without any other than a periodic sponsorship here and there. But I mean, I've been just doing this for so long, and it never grew to the level that I wanted it to become. And so I had to make a prudent decision there. Should I can't continue to do it for free. I'll be as blunt as I can make it. I can't continue to do the show for free because it takes a lot of time. I actually had to take a day from work or a vacation day to prepare that episode. I could. That's not something I just have time to do like after work anymore because I'm so busy. And so I actually had to take a day off from work, prepare that episode to get it done, and then when after I taped it, I was working all day long, and then I would work until night editing for next couple days after that to get it to stream TV in time for that Saturday, and I was questioning whether I was going to get it done in time, but oh well. So anyways, Sheila says, "Oh, Horror Express, good one." Yes. Bonus says, "Brian, do you remember that Chilly Billy hosted Chiller Theater as himself?" I do. I do. I think he could. I don't know. He was already an established persona in Pittsburgh, you know, um, and so for him, that made a lot of sense for him to be himself. He could be himself. Where I don't think that I have that quality, that natural, whatever that was that he had, a gift, and maybe it was a lot more innate within him to be that, to do that. With me, I thought it was interesting to do it as a character, as that character. And it's weird. And I don't know how many of you know how this all started. And so I would just take a minute to kind of recap how this all started. I I was approached with the idea of doing a host a horror show. I kind of wanted to already do that like a while ago, back when I lived in Pittsburgh, and then I moved back up into the area that I moved, and then I had the idea presented to me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I will. I was starting up a business at that time, and it was, Sleepy Hollow Amusements Incorporated, to where I thought, oh, okay, well, now I can do something that's kind of Sleepy Hollow themed, because and the haunted house was on Sleepy Hollow Drive, and Sleepy Hollow Theater was what we called that at the time. And I wasn't going to be I never wanted to be the host. I wasn't going to be the host. That wasn't the plan at all. So, but I was asked to be the host when presented to the TV station, local TV station. They asked, would Jack Shadow consider hosting the show? Well, I already had a host for the show at that time. So that host became the co-host, and Jack took over as the host, because I thought, well, I don't know if that's something where people might be interested in seeing that character. I wasn't sure how that was going to translate from being a creepy character in the haunted house for the last couple years to from 2006, 2007, and now in 2008, all of a sudden he's, you know, going down a little bit more of a comedic angle to the the dialogue and to his character that he didn't have before, not to that level anyway. So that's how that started. I never intended to be on this side of the camera for any of that. As far as even Chiller Chat, I didn't. I wasn't going to be the person to interview people. Over time, that stuff just got thrown back at me. Now, I will say that was not my fault, but I mean, it was my decision to host Sleepy Hollow Theater and then, springboard into ChillerNight Theater. So I did do that. I put that on myself. But then the Haunted House, for example, 2006, I was never going to be Jack Shadow. I was never, ever going to be a character. I wanted to just be owner-operator. And the person who was supposed to be that part to take on that role quit like 10 days, 7 days or something like that before I was opening up. So, and that at that time, back in 2006, that was my first haunted house. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one who knows the dialogue. It was a lengthy dialogue. You're setting the mood, with that character, and then you get them all, set that atmosphere, and then you usher them in. Okay, now you've got them all nice and good, mentally prepared for this. You get those. Jack wasn't a funny character at that time. He was creepy, very creepy, and it really, really went over well. And so I wondered how it was going to be with him being that character going into hosting. It went rather well, I gotta say. All right, I try to get caught up on. Bonus says, I second the good wishes to you, Brian. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Glam says, I wasn't able to see the ghost presentation live, but really enjoyed it afterwards on the YouTubes. Well, I didn't do that one live. Oh, you mean streamed on Stream TV? Okay. Well, thank you. Jack was in great form, and it was a super show. Thank you, Glam. I appreciate that. Bonus says, sorry, Brian, I guess I jinxed you saying you'd have free time. Sorry about that. No, you didn't jinx me. That's just I brought it on myself, in a good way. That's good. That's good stuff when I'm getting that stuff, because that's all positive. Let's see. PBR Street Gangs, give me a little wave. Hey, thanks for joining us. Richard Cook says, looking forward to the show at 9. I've never seen it before. Oh, thanks for joining us, Richard. I think you're you're going to like it. I hope you do. I hope you enjoy it. Horror Express, of course, with Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, and Telly Savalas plays a really interesting character in that movie. PBR Street Gang says, to be honest, I didn't know it was you for several episodes. Well, for the first 8 years, people didn't know it was me. You know? Yeah, from 2006 until, actually, you know what? Not until 2015 did I come out. And it wasn't even me making that decision, necessarily. That happened because I was being interviewed on somebody's online, like, radio show, their podcast, and that person knew it was me, but it was my fault because I never told that individual at that time not to, that I don't reveal that information, and so it did come out. And now there might have only been a couple hundred people listening to that at the time, and they might not even been around here, and that might have been going in one ear and out the other. But at that time, I thought, I've been doing this for a while, and it was always, I never put my name with Jack Shadow for the first, it was for the first 8 years, and it was always Jack Shadow as himself in the credits, and even in the haunted house. I made it very clear to everyone. And in fact, there were even people working in the haunted houses with me who didn't know who played Jack Shadow. As weird as that sounds, that's true. And I kept that going for quite a while, the first 8 years. And then when it became ChillerNight Theater, that's when the secret was out there publicly. There was a small, very small group of people, because it is inevitable when you are working and doing a haunted house and doing a business and you're playing that character, there's a certain, there will be people who know. But yeah, I take that as a compliment that you didn't know that, because that I'm me and that's a character, and that's more of a very, far more maybe interesting character, or I don't know. How do you describe Jack Shadow? I guess only you guys could. I don't know what you think of him, but I know a lot of people like him and enjoy him, of course. Let's see. Roger says, "Good evening." Good evening, Roger. Thanks for joining us. Bonin says, "I remember Sleepy Hollow Theater." Yeah, we did that from 2008 until 2008 up until 2015. So, Bonin says, "Hello, Miss Ava. Hope you're doing well, Mrs. Hogue." And James, I don't know if she's on here right now. James says, "Good evening, Brian." Hey, James, thanks for joining us. Bonin says, "I was an owner-operator once. It was a tractor trailer, though." Oh, well, that's pretty neat. Never drove one of those. Dan says, "Howdy, y'all. Cheers." Hey, Dan, thanks for joining us. Joe Expo says, "Wow, what is this?" What? Happy to see you. What a nice surprise. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, the pre-show's not ending. It's just because there's still shows that are coming on at 9. The show's still going to continue on Stream TV. So we'll still have a pre-show. In fact, it's coming up on 8:30. So I'll put the schedule back up here. At 9 p.m., Horror Express, and at 10:40, The Ghost. And as I said to some of the other a little earlier, Horror Express was the very first ChillerNight Theater that I did when I was working with Stream TV. That's why there's such a different look and sound to the shows from 2017 on up. For the better. And then at 10:40, The Ghost. So that's the first one with Stream TV and the last one, ChillerNight Theaters. And then at 12:30, Silent Night, Bloody Night. And then at 2:20, The Undying Monster. So there it is. there it is. That's the schedule for tonight. Let's see. Dan says chat is tonight's movie, The Horror Express. It is the 9 o'clock one. It certainly is. Dan says thank you, Bonehead. That's on my top 3. Just watched it Halloween, but ready again. I must have. Oh, what, The Horror Express? That's a good one. That's a really enjoyable one to watch. Blue. Got bumped there. Blue, Black, Purple says Jack Shadow is legendary. That's cool. Let's see. Bonus says thanks, Glam, you're a sweetheart, and I'm glad to be in your web. LOL. L Von Hoagie, or L Von Hoagie, L Ava Hoagie. Where do you get Vaughn? I'm watching on YouTube, but I can't respond. Doing good. Oh, it's because you were asked earlier how you were doing. Bonus says, hello, blue, black, and purple. You a Ravens fan? Joe Expo says, it was a hell of an ending show you did last weekend. Bravo. Thank you. Tom! Hey, Tom's with us. Hey, Tom. Tom says, glam. Yeah, that was a weird, that was kind of weird for me to do that, you know, that last part, because I'm trying to get, the episode done, and I had been considering, because I knew I couldn't keep up with the schedule of doing this show, and I thought, well, what's the quality of the show going to be like if I don't really have time? I don't want Jack Shadow to come on here and talk like I talk. You know, I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want, like I said, I have a certain standard for that character, and I wanted to come on and exit with that intact. You know, I didn't want the show to you know, I didn't mind coming in and keeping the show alive, afloat for a while, but I didn't want it to go out that way with me. So that's not the character that you came to expect to be hosting that show. So I didn't want it to go out that way. It didn't begin that way. So, but yeah, when I did that ending, and then I watched it later. It was kind of sad. It was, I gotta admit, like, and I'm the one who wrote it and did it, but I mean, I was still kind of like, I'm seeing Jack say, and for the last time, you know, I bid you adieu, my children of the night. And there was a little extra, ding, ding, just a little extra pause there at the end. I did when I was editing it to, I don't know, to kind of hit the point home, or for dramatic sake, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was weird for me to see that, because I had been so invested in not only the character but the show for so long, and for me to be saying, you know, fare thee well. So it was strange, and it's still something to where if I sit and think about it for too long, it just, I don't know, it kind of feels a little odd, a little overwhelming in a way. So I just keep busy. I'm just not thinking about it too much. I couldn't have kept up with it right now, anyways. Like I said, if the conditions are right down the road, and somebody wants to make those conditions right, you know, then I would certainly re-examine the possibility. But you know what? It wasn't an easy decision to bring even the show back in 2017, because at first, like, there was a little bit of a gap of time where I never ended the show. So it was just kind of like it ended kind of in limbo. You know, it was open to where there were going to be more episodes. There were several months where I didn't make any. And so I was thinking at that time to end it. That was back in 2017. So when you look at it that way, you know, we got several more years out of it. I was asked if I would bring the show back for Stream TV, if I was interested in doing that. And at first I wasn't. I appreciated the offer. I thought that was nice. but I wasn't really all that interested in keep dressing up. And it's a pain in it really is for me to do all that. There's a lot to that, for me to just be doing for nothing. And I like again, I wanted that show to. I had high hopes for the show, and whether it got picked up in Pittsburgh somewhere, WPXI. I went down there and had that talk with them, and I thought they were going to take it, and then they changed things up on me. They went exactly the opposite way. And I went down there and said, I will do it under these conditions. This is what I'm looking at, not this. And we had to understand, this, not this. Everyone on the same page. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for your time. Took me on a nice tour on the station. And then, like 2 weeks later, I get the feedback like, "Hey, we decided we want this." I was like, "No, no, no, that's not at all what. No, I'm not going to do that. I said that from the beginning, and I thought I made myself very clear. Anyways." But anyway, just contacting all the multitudes and multitudes of TV stations over the years. When I was really picking up at one time, there were several stations throughout the country that were playing the show. And it's like, okay, is this going to pay off at some point? Just waiting, and I was very aggressively pursuing all this stuff, the emails, the phone calls, man, there was a lot of back and forth over the years, and I just got, it didn't happen. I just put it that bluntly. It never happened, so it's like, okay, it didn't happen, so go do something that does work. This wasn't working. Let's do something that is going to work. So, and that's where we catch up to today. Bonus says, "Hey Tom, I was calling out for you. I hear you got a birthday coming up. Cute little spider toy." Oh, Tom, is this true? Another successful trip around the sun? Do tell. Joexpo says it was uniquely sincere. Yeah, I tried. It felt that way. It felt that way when I was saying goodbye. It did. PBR says, "Watched Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet today. Loved it." Oh, awesome. Thank you. Bonus says, "I watched the farewell show. All I can say is thank God for reruns on YouTube. You'll still be there." Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted to jump back on here with the pre-show because I was getting people like writing to me and stuff, or making comments like about them thinking that the pre-show was like done, like that's done. And I was thinking like, no, I mentioned that wasn't going to happen, but sometimes maybe you didn't hear that part, or maybe you didn't see the comment and response. And I thought I better get on here, and tonight seemed to be a night to where it allowed me to do this. Now, the only problem I'm having is my Saturdays. Now I'll be here. Well, will I be here next Saturday? I don't even know. I was thinking, well, I have surgery, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll be here next Saturday night. I don't even know on Saturdays in the afternoon and early evenings if I will be here for. So how do you do that? I honestly, if somebody has a good idea, let me know, because I really don't know what to do about this. I don't have the setup here that I do at the store at this time. Maybe down the road I will, and maybe down the road, let's see if people come in. I'm the only one who can put them through that escape room. It's me. I'm the only one. I'm running this by myself. I've designed it by myself. I put it together by myself. Other than here and there, some somebody coming in and helping put up the walls and that. And Ava did a fantastic job. She helped me like paint and put some details up and hook up the electronics, stuff that I I hate painting. You know, in my haunted houses, I hate painting. But Ava was very good in helping me with that, and she was really good in helping me hook up like the you know, put this cable here and here and the door unlocks. You know, that's stuff that I'm not real good with technical stuff, and thank goodness she was. But other than that, this is a one person operation, and so I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure what to do, and I know I've expressed that before. You know, like I don't know what if I'm here. I'll you know, I'll do the pre-show, but I can't ever count on that, and so I just don't know what to do about that. Let's see. Tom says, "Hey, Bone, I couldn't hear you with these ancient ears of mine." Yeah. I know I've got a couple ancient eyes that make it a little hard for me to read what you guys are saying. Glam says, it was a moving closing paired with a good movie and was very well done. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bonin says, that would have been me. Sorry, I'm old and got old. SBC says, hello everyone. Hey, how's it going there? Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Oh, Ava Hoagie gives me another heart. Right back at you, baby doll. Dan says, hey, howdy, SBC. You're in good company. The best, in my opinion. Juxpo says, let me suggest, so remember to subscribe so you're notified whenever something special happens. Oh, that's a good recommendation. That's like me putting the comments, you know. I don't know how many people are notified of that, you know, when I do put those comments out there, or a quick video letting you know, hey, sorry I couldn't make it tonight. So, yeah, that's a good idea. Glam says, you and Ava are quite the power couple. Yes, we are. Thank you. Yeah, we are. We've done so much together. I started the haunted houses in 2006. The very next year, here's another weird thing. I was supposed to be in the House of Terror. I had two of them running. House of Terror was my first one in 2006. The very next year, I built another one. I was asked to come in to a local city. They were having a big event. They asked me and said, hey, we really thought that House of Terror is cool. Can you come in and we'll give you the venue. Will you build a haunted house and have it, and you know, you keep, you know, you run it, you profit from this. They really wanted that to be like a staple of the event of this Halloween. They're trying to get this big Halloween thing started. Of course, they wanted a feature event, you know, the haunted house. So I said, yeah, I'll do that. So, but I was only going to build it, and then I was going back to the House of Terror, and I was going to let this go on its own and figure out like maybe hire a manager for it. You know, and then I think the decision was made just very, like maybe a couple weeks before we opened up both of those haunted houses, to have Jack Shadow go there to promote that new location, the Dark Domain. It was my first Dark Domain in 2007. So while I was at the Dark Domain, I wasn't supposed to, but at the Dark Domain, that's where I met Ava on the very first night. It was a Thursday night, October 4th, 2007. And we met as, I mean, basically, between 6:30 and 7, because I remember her coming to the building and saying, hi, I'm Ava, introducing herself. And we had talked on the phone prior to that, so I could give her an idea of what I was looking for with the character and all that, but and give her script. But, you know, there I was, partially in costume with my contact lenses in, and we had met that night, and the night that we met, we were Jack Shadow and the witch character, and Aura. So I don't remember she had that particular name for the character at that point. But you know, because we weren't even thinking about doing. I mean, we hadn't done the shows yet, Sleepy Hollow Theater. But I don't know. We've been together in all of this ever since, and it's just been so much fun, and there's so much support. You know. Oh, that's right. I just heard the name of her witch at that point was Rebecca. Rebecca, right? Rebecca. That's right. That's right. And then later it became Aura. So, but yeah, we've been through quite a bit with this, and quite a journey. you know. Um, Bonus says this is what's so great about the pre-show. Everybody's saying hello, and it really is like having a family there. What's that? Oh, that's right, because Ava was using Rebecca because of Rebecca Nurse. Now, Ava is a direct descendant of Rebecca Nurse, and if you're not familiar with Rebecca Nurse, Nurse is Ava's maiden name. Ava is a direct descendant of Rebecca Nurse, who was put to death in Salem. One of the individuals who was one of the ladies who was put to death in Salem for witchcraft or accused of being a witch. So Ava is a direct descendant of Rebecca Nurse from Salem. I thought that's pretty interesting, and I think that's a neat background for a witch character too. You know, of course, a Halloween witch compared to somebody who was just accused, but still, nonetheless, I think it's a pretty interesting link there. But that is very cool. Bonus is old age adult attention deficit disorder. Oh, that's what your OAADD. Okay. Whoa. I didn't know that. All right, well, thank you. Dan says, Bonehead, haha, I'm heading there soon, brother. What, the age thing? Jugspo says, could you please give us one sentence in the voice of Jack? I normally don't do that. But what the heck? You know what? I will. I will. Good evening. Welcome to Sleepy Hollow Theater. That's right, I'm revisiting the original title. How about that? Hope you enjoy. Okay, so it's funny. I never really did that voice as me. I mean, there have been a few occasions, but I never did that. Like, it was something I refrained from doing. Is doing that voice, and you seeing it coming out of Brian instead of Jack Shadow. So, but yeah, I don't know. That's the showman in me. It's like. Keeping secret who did Jack Shadow, who did that character, and then never doing the voice, But yes. Bonus says, I just hope ChillerNight crew is always there in my so-called golden years. Um, Bonus says, yeah, Dan, I'm already there. You may have to reintroduce yourself to me when I get here, because I'll probably forgot by then. LOL. Dan says, whoa, that is very cool in a macabre way. Glam says, have you heard from Samantha lately? Hope she's doing well. Really enjoyed her character, Elvon Knock, too. I heard from her, not about the show, I haven't, but as far as, I remember when I was first posting about the escape room, and at that time, I think I posted about, now this must have been back in June or July, because I had posted that I was having a haunted house this October too, and she had posted something like, "Oh, that's really cool. Unfortunately, I'm busy on Saturdays with my job and won't be able to do that." So I know she's been busy, but and then I worked all the way up until like the middle of August, until more toward the end of August actually, on the escape room. So I didn't have time to do the haunted house. So. But no, I haven't. Other than that, no, I haven't. I haven't heard from her for Not much within the last couple of years, to be honest with you. But I'm sure she's doing well. She's been busy with her job. Tom says, "Give that man a Brinquilitus Jack Shadow doll." Yes, yes. Speaking of ventriloquist. Joe exposes. Amazing, clever, thank you. Ha! Glenn says, "That was too cool, Brian. Thanks." Oh, thank you. Oh, go on. SBC says, "Great. A guest appearance by Jack." Yeah. Bonin says, "Bravo imitation, Brian. You sound just like Jack Shadow." I know. I hear that I do a fantastic imitation Jack Shadow. Um, Dan says, "You should charge a fee for those custom cameo messages in Jack's voice." Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Bonin says, "How was your Halloween, Brian and Miss Ava?" We did pretty good. We had, I worked up until, a certain time of the day, and then right after, hurried up and, ate, and then trick or treat started in our town. And I stuck around for about half an hour. Then I had to leave and drive my 40 minutes to get to the escape room because I had a booking on Halloween night. So I was pretty busy, and then I didn't get home till later in the evening. So, but it was fun. I had a fun Halloween. You could tell all the kids were having a great time trick or treating. I love to see that. It starts earlier because we live next to a busy road. I'm sure you've heard that from time to time. It's a very main road, and just for safety's sake, I'm a traditionalist. I do think it should be on the 31st and in the evening. However, it makes a lot of sense safety wise that it's done. Uh, you know, Obviously, when it's lighter because of the traffic and for the safety of the kids and their parents. But I thought it was a lot of fun. Normally, I dress up. I sit on on the porch, or I'll stand out there and pass out candy. I've been the Riddler. I've been Jack Shadow. I've been the Lone Ranger. But this time I was like, I don't have time. First of all, I don't have time to dress up in anything. And second of all, I got to run the escape room tonight, which it would have been okay to do that, but I didn't want to drive, 30 miles in a costume. So it was just me out there with now Ava. She got the little witch hat on and was passing out candy with me. Um, let's see. Tom says Shakespeare joke, medieval rim shot. After what? What? Bonin says, "After I eat beans, clear the room." John says, "Who listened to the radio broadcast of the original War of the Worlds?" I've heard it. I've heard it before. In fact, I have a DVD set that has, the original movie, and then is it on the back of that, or there was an additional disc in there? It's been so long. I only watched and listened to it when I first got it. It was years ago, but they actually had the radio show on the disc. So that was pretty cool. Joe Expo says, "Jack always just steals the show, doesn't he?" Yeah, he's such a ham. Tom says, "He kills it." Yeah. Glam says, "Would be amazing to have Jack record an outgoing voicemail message for people's phones, or a ringtone, or some catchphrase of his." Yeah. Yeah, it'd be kind of neat. When I was reading that, I was thinking about something. There's actually a thing in here, like one of these apps, when you're doing text messages, and I can, maybe I've got like one or two of you. I know I've got Tom's number, for example. Like I could actually text Tom and give him the a text message with a skull. They don't have a Jack Shadow because but they have a skull, and I could do that and actually send that to him, and he could see that little cartoon boy face and hear the voice of Jack Shadow. It's weird, but I'm sure now you probably are all very well aware of that. But to me, it takes me a little while to catch up on well, the newest and coolest things out there, technical wise or technology wise. So yeah, you never know. Tom says, "Is Jack available to jump out of a cake?" I don't know. He's maybe. Um, yes, he could. Tom just wrote, text me. Let's see here. I'll do it right now. And then I will. All right. Now, what do I have to do here? Oh, here we go here. Let me put it on the skull. No, I don't want to edit that. Delete that. No, I don't want to. Oh, you guys, see, this is the problems that I have. Like, this stuff is like so far beyond my understanding. Let's see. Aha! Here's the skull. I'll just grab a generic skull. Hello, and now it's reading my face. All right. Hello, Tom. Thank you for joining us on the ChillerNight Live pre-show. Send that to Tom. I don't know if I can really show you that, but it's... Why isn't he talking? Hello, Tom. Thank you for joining us on the ChillerNight Live pre-show. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little skeleton that's... Hello. All right, Jack. But that I could do. You saw it took me a little bit to figure that out, but oh yeah, it's almost the end of the show, huh? Bonus is Jack and Coke. I'm there. Jack and Cake. I'm in. Jack and Coke. I think they meant caked. Bonehead. Let's see. SPC says, that reminds me of these tapes with the answering machine announcements, Jack version. Yeah. Let's see. John says, this has been a ChillerNight pre-show with Brian Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand reminding you that there's only 50 plus days left before Christmas and 23 until Thanksgiving. My advice, think thin, okay? Until next Saturday night. That's the big challenge, isn't it? Stay chilled and keep thrilled. All right. Thank you, Crozak the Grand. Joe expresses, Bri, you need a Colonel Parker. A what? Colonel Parker? Bonus says, Brian, it's so enjoyable watching somebody else try to figure out a phone. Yeah, that's me. Tom says, OMG, that's awesome. Did you get that yet? Joe expresses, I hate you, Tom. Bonus says, I told you I got OAADD, Brian, LOL. Dan Cooper says, I will say, Brian, my 6-year-old is rejoicing that Jack is taking an extended vacation. She doesn't know what's good for her. She also doesn't know I'm going to watch the reruns. Haha. Oh, is that right? Well, extended vacation. That's probably a good way of putting it. All right, so let me put up the schedule one last time here real quick, because in just 2 minutes, the Horror Express will be on Stream TV at streammedia.tv, streammedia, easy for me to say, media.tv. 10:40, The Ghost, and at 12:30 in the morning, Silent Night, Bloody Night, and 2:20 in the morning, The Undying Monsters. There you have it. There is the schedule for the ChillerNight Theater programming on Stream TV tonight. Dan Cooper said he scared the crap out of her. Good to expose our young ones to such things. It is. I think it is a good thing. That's why we for so long as a civilization have just loved and been intrigued by ghost stories, and things like that. I'll let a little Jack voice slip there. Bonus says, Brian, I hope to see you next weekend. So do I. Please keep us posted on YouTube if you're going to do the pre-show. Thanks. Yeah, I think I'll be doing that. Joe Expo says Colonel Parker was Elvis's manager. Okay, I didn't know that. Bonus says, thanks everyone. All right, well, it's 8:59. Thanks everybody. That has been a fun show, and I appreciate everybody joining me and each other here for the ChillerNight Live pre-show. Enjoy the ChillerNight Theater episodes tonight. Have a good night. Have a good ChillerNight, and I hope to see you next week. See ya.